In most of Europe, DAB is the digital radio standard that's being used, but in North America, we are using a format called HD radio, which actually stands for hybrid digital, and it uses the existing analog infrastructure to transmit digital quality music. I just picked up one. Let's take a look and see how well it works. I got my hands on a Sangean HDT 1. This was one of the first generation of the HD radio using the in-band on-channel system that's used in North America. And basically what that does, it allows the radio station to have additional information on both AM and FM. On AM, how they generally do it is they transmit the digital signal as a phase modulated signal, kind of like how they would have transmitted the AM stereo signal for AM stereo. They phase modulate the carrier and put the digital information there. Unfortunately, where I am, there are no AM stations that are transmitting in digital mode, just FM stations. The AM stations that are being carried on the FM subchannel. Now, how this unit works, if we go to the band mode first for starters, we can tune in directly. As you can see, I've tuned in my little test transmitter, and I can confirm that it does not receive in AM stereo. It only receives in AM mono. To search for stations on this, you can use the seek button.
We're going to start focusing more on the problems in Italy, and that's quite a negative.
Now, this is AM reception. It almost sounds like stereo, but it's not.
The earlier conditions, just the sort of restrictive nature, the tightening conditions of a stronger dollar and higher rates, and now oil prices running up. That's a pretty heavy lift.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very...
Press the seek button, it'll go down to the next channel that it finds. The tuner on here is actually quite sensitive, as I found, just using the little loop antenna.
The friend reported the incident. The one making the request was arrested. And in Hoffman, northeast of...
For AM reception, this is an exceptionally quiet tuner.
Prepare for that. Peter touched on that. To hear it, go to the audio page, tsn1040.ca. Click on...
The big question. John Gunther is on the phone. Hi, John.
Hey, how are you?
It's great to talk to you again. The last time I talked...
Nexus wait times, 20 minutes for Aldergrove and 40...
Perfectly so, but there wasn't going otherwise after getting that. This matters. So I do...
I'm able to pull in signals that I wasn't able to pull in on other radios. So the AM tuner on this is actually very good. And it'd be interesting to see at night whether I'm able to pull in any of the digital signals that are out of Seattle, because there are some AM digital signals. There's just none local here. So I go to the FM band. Tuning, obviously, if I hit the seek button, it'll go to the next station. Now this is going to pick up the analog radio stations, and it does pick up RDS, so you get the information that they transmit. So this will let me tune in all of the channels by seeking them out. I've just got a dipole antenna on here. When we get a stereo signal or a digital signal, it's going to switch over to the digital signal. So now it's just switched over to the digital signal, and the sound quality, there's a dramatic improvement. Now, if the station transmits more than one digital signal, if you use the tuning button, it'll go to the next signal. So this is 92.9 FM number 2, which is actually an AM station that they carry on the same channel.
That's just like freaking ludicrous.
I like this one. This is a message from this station. It says here, this is just a big long message from the station. Okay. If I press the info button,
I'm not even sure
it'll tell me what channel I'm on here. Now, if I press and hold the info button, it'll give me more information. Okay. Contrast for the display. Now it gives me my bit error rate that's coming in. It'll tell me the carrier to noise ratio every time I press the button. These are for diagnostics, the fuse bit check. The transmission mode, they're transmitting as an MP3 stream, and the station ID is the information. And then, of course, this is just the version for the radio itself. So that's 92.9 FM number 2. If I click this one here, it goes to number 1.
92.9 KISM.
So that's the main simulcast of the analog, but in digital quality, and it is superior to the analog. As soon as it kicks in, you hear it right away. There's a big jump in the separation, and there's a big improvement in the sound quality.
You see what I'm saying?
Now, some stations will have more than 2 channels, but in this case it doesn't, because we're just going up to the next station here. If I hit seek, it'll move up to the next station. And again, if it's just an analog station, I'm going to talk over this so I don't get hit with copyright. But if it's just an analog station, it'll just pick it up in analog. Now, if there had been digital signal there, it would automatically switch over to digital. I'll go to the next station. And again, same thing. This station just has RDS, which is the radio data service. So it tells you the name of the track, but it doesn't have, they don't have a digital signal on this one.
By local police. Commence SO station field test. Scientists observe.
Another one here. This station's also in HD. And then now it's switched over to digital. And if I can hit the tuning button, and I can actually pick up the second channel, which in this case is, I think this is News 1130,
Meridian dinner combos,
which is the same as 11:30 a.m. They have the same, it's a news channel. Hit the tuning up button. Again, I'll get another sport. This is a sports channel here on 96.9 FM 3, or digital 3.
And I think society loves to come back.
And the next station up, nothing will be here. This is the French, CBC French. They won't have anything. Again, no digital on this one, on CFOX. Again, no digital on this station, or on this one. Get to 101.1, and here we've got our digital signal.
I can't keep up with all the technology. I'm falling behind.
And now it just switched over to digital. And if I hit the tuning button, it'll pick up the second and third channels. The second channel is CKNW 980 in digital, and it sounds fantastic.
2 for 2 now in the Triple Crown.
And the third one, whoops, didn't want to do it that time. We'll wait for it here. There's a third channel there. It's the traffic channel, which is...
Let's take a break. This is Mike Smith in for Linda. Stick around.
Okay, it's supposed to be there. There is 101.1-3. It's the traffic station, AM 730.
Vancouver and Burnaby.
I'm Bruce Allen, this is CKNW, and this is your reality check. It was breaking news, and NW was first to let all of us know that Alberta had passed legislation that meant they could cut off the oil supply to BC at any time they felt like it. This is, of course, Alberta's reaction to the NDP government stance on the Kinder Morgan pipeline. It's called Bill 12, and it still needs royal assent. John Horgan and his gang of clowns say that they are going to sue. Oh, shut up, John. You're going to sue with whose money? Your money? Oh, no, our money. You spend our money on a stone-cold loser. You know, they just charged Green Party leader Elizabeth May, along with former NDP MP Kennedy Stewart. Stewart is also a supposed candidate for the mayor of Vancouver seat. He's already paid a $500 fine for violating a court injunction that said protesters had to keep at least 5 meters from the Kinder Morgan worksite. Isn't that great? The type of people who show up to get on the political gravy train these days are the ones who disregard the laws of the land. Both May and Stewart are an embarrassment. The Canadian government on November 29, 2016 approved the 1,700-kilometer pipeline, as was their right. I'm sure some people were upset, and they have the right to voice their displeasure. But break the law? That's a non-starter. If those who make the laws deem not to respect those laws, then they should be dealt with harshly. Elizabeth May makes sure to tell everyone that she has not really been charged with a criminal code offense. She's splitting hairs. It's too bad that her behavior has not meant that she will not be able to sit as a member of parliament. Now that would set an example. Talking about setting an example, if Alberta does slow down or stop gasoline flowing to BC, it'll be interesting to watch what the public does as they watch the gas prices go through the roof. I don't think it will be pretty, nor should it be. The provincial NDP got us in this mess. It's now time for them to get us out.
Get a kick out of brutality. He's certainly got opinions, that's for sure. Okay, so let's see if that third one. Okay, yes. It should be there. There, now it is. 101-3. This is the traffic station. There it is. That's the third one. 101.1-3. So that's the traffic station. That's the same as AM 730. And if I go to the next station up, we'll see what else we can get here in the Vancouver area. And this one here has also got 103.5.
They gave one moment of a thought to the fans, and that's fine.
That's the Team 1040 Sports. And number 3, it should be 1410, which is Bloomberg Radio.
Spot down 0.1%. Treasury yields kind of steady.
This station is only in analog. Should be another one coming in here that is in stereo or in digital. Where the heck was it? I think it was supposed to be 10. That one's in digital, I believe. I guess my antenna's not positioned right. I've got it inside the house. 104.1 is a digital station. It's KAFE. But I brought the antenna in. CBC Radio 2.
Oh, I feel like I did really good.
And Praise FM is in digital, and it'll kick in. Now it's just kicked in.
Really hard, and after she finished it, she.
And they have a country music station on here as well, but I think it's a Christian country music station from what I've heard. I haven't listened to it much, but I think that's all. Again, my antenna is inside, so if I put the antenna outside, I can certainly get a little more. I'm going to try this thing on an outdoor antenna once it gets dark and see what type of AM, whether I can pull in any AM HT signals, but during the day it's kind of tough. I want to take the top off this and show you guys what's inside this one. Now, I know if you guys were expecting to see a fair bit in here, you're in for a disappointment because there's virtually nothing in here. It's basically mostly air. What we do have, and what I do like here, is it's got a conventional linear power supply. The transformer is actually quite warm, and a conventional linear regulator, so no switching power supply on this. So it looks like the AM antenna comes in here. I don't know exactly what this is. This is a tuning circuit of some type, maybe to match the antenna to the input or to protect it from surges and stuff if it was hooked up to a long wire. But AM signal passes through this wire, the FM signal through this little coax into here. Here's our tuner pack here that's going to pick everything up, and there's no IF in this or anything. This is all software defined radio, so it just passes the demodulated signal directly to the DSP. In fact, it doesn't. I don't think it doesn't even demodulate anything. It just processes the IF down converted frequency from the tuner over to the DSP. The DSP is doing all the demodulation and detecting the digital signal if there's one there. You've got a health light that's blinking on and off here to indicate that the thing is running, and that's pretty much it. There's not a heck of a lot on here. When I turn it off, unit goes to sleep. The display shows the time of day, and the light turns red on the front. Turn it back on, it boots up with the HD radio logo, goes back where you left it last. Has 20 memories per band, 20 AM and 20 FM memories. Not much to see in here. I was expecting there to be a little bit more inside this receiver than there is, but there not much to them. Anyway, thought you guys might like to see the inside of this Sangean HDT1 radio component tuner. One thing that disappoints me is it won't receive AM stereo. That's kind of a bummer, because I had heard a lot of talk, a lot of chatter. People were saying it does, but it doesn't. I got an AM stereo transmitter right behind me that comes in stereo on all the other radios. On this one, good old mono. Thanks for watching.